Hey, you favored ones. Welcome back to another collective reading. It is 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it was. It's when it was 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock. So big steps into the next part of your life, or taking it one step at a time. Baby steps. For some of you, it's taking leaps and bounds and trusting your own intuition. For others, it's taking it one step at a time to recovery and taking care of yourself. So some of you are leaping and some of you are just taking a step over the puddle, and both of those are very valid. So I have today for downloads, yes, welcome in Utopia, yes. Hello, favored ones. Take your seat at the round tables, everyone. If you would like, you can throw a coin in the wishing well. And yes, these are general readings, so it may not all resonate with you, and that's perfectly fine. You're welcome to look at different videos or just listen along. If you find that you like it and it's soothing to listen to me, then I appreciate that too. All support is welcome here. So, as well as I'm not taking personal readings, so if anyone tries to solicit you in your inboxes or below in the comments saying that some creator spiritual team told them to message you because they have a big important message, that's one of the scams that is used in this community, in the tarot community, and they don't deserve your hard-earned money. So save that for yourself and for those who are legit. So I have whale rested instead of well rested, whale rested, because there is, I think it's the sperm whales. I didn't write it down. That the ones with the bristle teeth. So either they're blue whales or sperm whales. I know one of them with the big clunky heads. A lot of you might like marine biology or whales or resonate with them. Some of you could have had a past life as a whale. Regardless of which one it is, they sleep vertically in order to conserve energy, and it's easier to breathe for them throughout this period. So making sure you're close to the surface and not diving too deep into the astral or diving too deep into projects right now, because you are learning to rest and listen to your body, helping it recover. Some of you, I'm having a lot of pressure around my head, so some of you could have congestion or just seasonal, confirmation, seasonal pressure, as well as the air pressure changes. A lot of you could have been traveling, so the air pressure of going off and taking off and landing, also just different air pressures of altitudes of where you've traveled. They also put their tails out of the water sometimes to cool off. I feel like not only are you taking a breather to like cool off, maybe you've been feeling burnt out, but I also feel like you're learning to remove yourself from the situation to cool off, like cool it, is what I'm hearing. And also putting I got that meme where you put like your hand at like the hand out for you're getting a life raft, a life preserver thrown to you, where it's like nailed it, like where they like hoop you. You are getting the spiritual help, and Starseeds family is helping heal you at this time, or just your support team. If you notice there's friends around you, they'll be reaching out once you let them know that you're not feeling good or feeling down, and they're just wanting to be there for you, like telling you wholesome facts, like daily affirmations and like videos hyping you up and really giving you a pep talk. You're really noticing that a lot of people are in your corner, and they think you're cool too. Let's get through this. A lot of you might be saying, Spirit wants you to realize that your voice is important and you're very articulate and you have a lot to say. So don't doubt that the message that you are giving out is being well received. Whether it's your song, your book, a pep talk even. Like maybe sometimes you feel like your pep talks aren't well received and you're just trying to help others feel hyped, and it's okay. You know, not everyone's going to receive it in the best way possible, but that's not on you. Miscommunications happen, and that doesn't mean it's a personal like slight against you or a personal a personal flaw or against yourself for not being able to communicate with that person. It could be someone that you're new to and you just have to learn how to vibe, and maybe they're testing the waters to see whether or not you're trustworthy. So that could be some of the things on why you're feeling like your pep talks aren't being well received. Another reason is that they just might have been in a perfectionist wound of their self, like within themselves from when they were growing up, to the point where any kind of pointers or constructive guidance may feel like criticism and could cause them to spiral, and that's not on you. Everyone's doing their personal thing. And maybe you're catching yourself too. That's the opposite side of it, right? Is that you're catching yourself. You're like, should I be more open to this information that these people are willing to give me? And is this out of maliciousness, or is this out of the fact that they want to see you do well and they see the potential inside of you? Now, of course, some people might be being backhanded compliments, and there's definitely unsolicited advice that could definitely be disgruntling, but you're learning to balance that out. You're like, just because they told me doesn't mean I have to do it that way, and just because they told me doesn't mean they're being malicious, and even if they are, then, well, they didn't change my mind anyway. So the next one I have is I Will Use My Voice by Amy Lee. And I feel like a lot of you are starting to speak for yourself, especially if you're people pleasers in the past. You're learning to use your voice. You're realizing if I don't speak for myself, others will want to speak for me, and you don't like what they have to say. So you are standing up and you are saying it for yourself, because no one can say it better than you. No one can say your story better than you. And no one can certainly not speak for you, because even if you agree with people in the background, they're not speaking for you. They're just getting amplified. And it's enough time of you amplifying and being a megaphone for someone else's story. It is time to be your own megaphone. Drop your megaphones below, drop your dynamite, drop anything that makes you feel like you could be loud and proud and involved in the world, integrated at your own pace too. I'm sick of everyone being like, yes, we are integrating, but at our own pace. You don't have to be out there grinding. You don't have to be out there double hustling to just get your voice out there. People see you when you move slower in a fast paced environment. You stick out. And if you stick out, that means you're catching people's eyes. Come on, favored ones, you know this. You are catching people's eyes because you are taking your time, because you want to know why. What do you think of when you think of graceful, suave, elegant? You think of that long, luxurious walk through like an open room where they part ways and the wind's blowing through your hair, or that big walk down the railing with your hand gracing it as you go along. A lot of you could be going to a gala or a very big important party, and let's just say, my collective, you know how to make an entrance. That's all I'm gonna say. Very tasteful entrances. Back to the message at hand for Amy Lee. With I will use my voice. Some of you may go to protests. You are using your voice. Some of you are of the minority of people of color, and you've had your voices minimized for so long. Now it's time for you to have your voice amplified and for people to be backing up your voice and your stories and your family generational traditions that have been pushed aside for forever. And now you're like, it ends with me. It went through and now it ends with me. I'm bringing back my traditions. I'm bringing new traditions if they don't align with the ones that we have had shoved down our throats. Cover my eyes and cover my ears and close my eyes just long enough to stop the noise. Go on and take everything and throw it away, but I will use my voice. Label me a ish because I care to draw the line. So yeah, people might be name calling you, wanting to, question your integrity and who you are as an individual as a way to kind of guilt trip you into doing what they would, being who you were before for them, which means you're useful to them. And when you weren't at your greatest, when you were people pleasing, and they deserved your love, and because everyone deserves real love, but you didn't deserve the way they treated you, and that's a two-way street. If it's not reciprocal, then bippity boppity back off. If we can't talk about it, we'll just keep drowning in it. So yeah, you're not going to sit there and not talk about what's going on in the family or talk about what's going on inside of the work environment. You're not the one who would sit idly by and not say anything when you know that there's something in the vicinity going wrong. And some people may say you're like nosy or need to mind your business. But I know that the people who you're standing up for appreciate you. The people who don't have a voice that you're speaking up for appreciate you. And the fact that you're taking strides to be a good person and defend those who are the underdogs. The underdogs deserve so much love and appreciation. They're underestimated, and you should never underestimate your opponent. Not ever. It's never a good idea. So people are starting to learn that it's not a good idea to underestimate you, my collective. Yeah, give me credit or not. I give a lot, but you don't speak for me. So yeah, you do give a lot. You give and you give. And you start to notice that there's a lot of takers around you and your environment, and you're not allowing them to take anymore. You're having up boundaries. You're saying no, and no is a full sentence. And that's incredible. Good. I feel like a lot of you are saying no to your ego too, and being like, that's a full sentence. When your ego is like, what if this is gonna go wrong? And you're like, yeah, and what if it's gonna go right, huh? How about that? What now, huh? You think you a hotshot ego? You don't got all the answers. You ain't Sway in the morning and just start yelling at me. You ain't Sway in the morning. You ain't got the answers, okay, ego? Even though Sway did have the answers. I'm just saying. But when you're dealing with intrusive thoughts and impulsive thoughts, and anxiety, being delusional and funny at it is the best way to like sidetrack it, because half of the time it's not even correct, and it's usually an unreasonable thought process, and you're like, everyone hates me. That's statistically impossible. You don't know everyone, right? That'd be a good way to combat it. That's very straightforward, but it's also like impossible to know every single person. So trying to dissect it and, quick whip. Yeah, you're trying to quick wit your 1551. You could be seeing repeated fives or ones, as well as mirroring numbers, or you're noticing that the universe is starting to mirror your energy back to you easier. We have Seven of Swords. So yeah, it's Seven of Swords, winning it, but at what cost, right? Before, you felt like you were getting ahead and you were getting views and getting content and art and projects out there, and feeling like you needed to do something every single month, let's say. And now you know that you took a couple of months off, or you took a month off, took a couple of weeks off, took the whole weekend off, whatever it is that you needed to, you took that time. And you're like, let me just shower within my own abundance and really look around me and see where can I build from here. Some of you could be seeing crows a lot, and it reminds me of fairies with the rainbow there as well, so crows and fairies could be important to you. I also feel like your soul is coming back into integrating back to you after a dark night of a soul, because I feel like your soul, a new higher level, you've reached a new height, you've passed a new precipice, and it's going to feel a little different and wonky because you're not quite used to being on that level yet. But you will have time to adjust, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, like reaching your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, so also with like leprechaun energy. Some of you could be creating fairy mounds, as well as being a part of. You could also be a part of, a transformation. So some of you could be transitioning at this time. That may not be for everyone, but that is definitely a sign that I'm seeing, is that you're leaving and becoming the person you truly were meant to be and truly are the whole time. That's not going to be a message for everyone, but that could be for someone. Congratulations on your transition. If that's not the right way to say it, then please correct me below. It could be not, it's not only a physical and I can words. I'm very articulate. Okay. It's not just a physical transition either. It can be a transition from one home to another, a job to another. I feel like there's a lot of my collective transitioning, and it's not just physical transition. Some of you are transitioning into the state of mind of being in the 5D instead of the 3D as well. With the raven and crow being there is the guide between worlds. So a lot of you could be shifting from the 5D shifting from the 3D into the 5D, and some of us are meant to be the bridge between both. So a lot of you are helping bridge and be the guides between the 3D and the 5D. A lot of you could be guides between different realms as well. A lot of you could have had a pet or loved one go over the rainbow bridge as well. Rainbow babies. My condolences for anyone who has gone through a loss. I know it is not the easiest thing to move on from, and grief. I recently had one as well. Still very much miss him and love him. He was going to learn from tarot from me. So love you, Joe. Thank you for always being here in spirit. Yeah, you may get a lot of messages from them through spirit as well. If you have anyone who's passed on, especially during this time, if you are watching it, this video's timeless. This time is a social construct, but when the stars and all the planet alignments of astrology throughout the yearly turn of the sun, we have spooky season, and during spooky season until spring, it gets very low, the veil, even though the veil's already thin. We need a different word for thinner veil. The veil thins so that your loved ones can come through and you can celebrate them during this time. So you may feel their presence around more strongly during this time. You may notice their scent and like ringing in your ears, or them saying your name, and music that they enjoyed. Just things that they enjoyed, you'll start to notice more often. If it becomes too much for you, though, you are in charge of your own guides. And this goes for like downloads, and if you feel like things are just too hard on you and you're just too much signs going on at once and you need to focus on the physical, or you're getting visits at night in your sleep, you are in charge, and you are very much allowed to say, hey guys, I'm going to need you to tone it back a little bit because I'm still a human being and this is overwhelming for me at this time. So I'm going to need you to dial it back. So if a lot of you are feeling tired because you notice that you're getting a lot of messages through your dreams, you are allowed to say, hey guys, I would just like a really restful night. Can you please allow that? Can you please make sure that that happens? And they will guard you and make sure that you get a restful night sleep. So some of you may not be getting a restful night's sleep, whether it's due to being sick or just missing someone. Yeah, you can let them know, be like, can you comfort me, and like, while I go to sleep. I feel like a lot of your guides sing to you, and if you notice little extra warmth across your face on a cold day, where they just try to bring you little comforts at a time, and they want to let you know in those little comforts they are there and they love you. This goes for people who are in the physical right now with you as well. You'll notice, like, I call it crow brain mentality of leaving trinkets, but you'll notice that they'll leave like memes for you, or they'll comment on your stuff and share it just to you know, make sure that you have that little bit of support and warmth and guidance through this time. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take them. I'm doing it. So flow with change, the wheel of fortune. Yes, you are finding out that you are in a cycle of fortune right now. Now, I'm not saying that there won't be downtimes because everything ebbs and flows, right? You know, flowing with the change. You are learning that your new cycle of birthing many ideas that will be fruitful and are taking care of you and the next generation and descendants. Now, even if you don't have kids, like if you're the last of your bloodline, of course, it will be because of the next generation, and your descendants will be those that you teach and your friends' children's and stuff. But like, even if you don't have your direct descendants, that's what it means, direct descendants. That's why there's direct in front of it. But you can have descendants from being an aunt, an uncle, the coach. Woo. Some of you were sleeping more. I wasn't even sleepy. I think I'm just getting a lot more calm energy. Yeah, I felt the pressure leave. I wonder if you guys felt that too. Michael and guides, guardians, ancestors of the highest good, can we clear out any energies? And if anyone's not feeling any well, can we get the deities that I work with, as well as Archangel Raphael, to clear it out? Please and thank you. Thank you. Integrating your polarities with temperance. You are learning that, yes, everything has its polarities, and you're starting to notice that even your hiccups and blips in your plans, you know, little hitches in your plans, are not as big as you were expecting. Like, you may have, you know, hoped for the best, but also planned for the worst. And you're noticing that it's more so going the way you planned than not. Which is a brilliant, you know, every now and then we get sick, or, you know, we have our time where the universe is like, whoa, slow down. But I feel like a lot of the collective, you're learning how to not be frustrated during the times when you are having those cycles and flows. A lot of you are learning how to balance yourself, work, and taking care of yourself during your monthly cycle. That won't be for everyone. A lot of you may realize that you're still having your cycle. A lot of you could be on the almost to the crone stage, and you're learning to be okay with that. You're learning that, yes, it is my time, and I've done my cycles. I am done with them. So yeah, a lot of you may be wondering whether or not you're at your crone stage, or whether you're fruitful still. For others, obviously, that don't want it to be fertile, will have birth of ideas, birth of a new paradigm, a birth of a partnership. You could be a duo of partners. I'm going to get that card because it slid all the way to the din-don day. The live long day, excuse me, pardon me, Mr. Card. Yes. So the Ace of Swords, divinely, yeah, the divine wants you to get out of your head. So whatever helps you get out of your head, if it's watching comedy, if it's playing the flute, if it's having a group get together, if it's going to the medicine woman, if it helps you get out of your head, going to a healing circle if that's what you need, a dancing class, just anything that would help you get out of your head more and be more a part of creating, weaving your story, the fabric of your time here. Yeah, some of you are going through orientation for a job. Yeah, that's not for everyone, but it's going to be for someone. Some of you are going through orientation. I'm hearing you're hired. If you haven't, obviously for those who have a wonderful job and plan on staying, then this orientation means that you could be getting new people hired on or moving up and getting a new position. Like you're going to go through orientation because you got promoted. I feel like some of you may, like biologists or work with animals, and you help them through reproduction or their life cycles and the food chain, and helping restore the food chain is what I'm seeing here, and helping repopulate certain plants and animals. That's incredible. Thank you so much if you're a part of that. That's so cool. That was intense. I'm sorry. But that's how I feel about it. Integrating the fact that we want to allow nature to set its own course, but at the same time knowing that we had a hand in its destruction, so we should definitely have a hand in its rebirth, its regrowth. Some of my collective is definitely a hands-on worker. You like working with your hands. You're very, you may like martial arts. You could enjoy crafting things like leather work, creating quilts, your own personal fashion and design. A lot of you could do photo shoots as well. So, you could do photo shoots of angels, endings, just doing that. I feel like a clash of energies here, where it's kind of like that meme where it's this is me listening to my music style. This is also me listening to my music style. So a lot of you could have a lot of different genre preferences and listen to many styles of music. That could come out in your art, is the fact that you are constantly enveloped in different cultures and history and landmarks that are unique and different, and you really like diving into it and coming up with new ideas to fashion yourself, and maybe you like shouting out other fashions of local artists and merch even. Yeah, your merch could, because that's to me anyways, to me, when I think of personalized style and unique to you, is definitely a merch coming to mind, as well as beadwork. A lot of bone work too. So some of you may create sculptures or decor with little bones, because it kind of looks like little skulls here in the corner. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. I'm painting the picture. A lot of you could paint pictures. A lot of you could create your own posters or like albums or logos. A lot of you could be investing in creating for yourself, being digital designers, learning how to getting stickers and stuff like that. Because like gold star stickers, why it's coming to my head, you could be getting stickers for your logo or your company just to hand out as a little cute giveaway. Or some of you may be having giveaways at this time, business, like for your business, just having giveaways or special deals, or having a new product come out. You could be creating your own shops so that people can order it and get it sent from one place to another by air or by sea. Some of you are starting your business starting a different side business with the experience and wisdom that you already have from a fully grown business, like a fully grown channel, and now you're starting a new one and you know how to do it with a different energy. You notice how the energies aren't the same as it was the different cycles. So each cycle that you go through, it gets a little bit more vibrant. It gets a little bit more solid. It's like when you first make a sketch and then you use a black marker afterwards to shade it, well, not shade it in, like do the outlining in a deeper color. I feel like that's what's happening for you right now, is that your mark on the world is becoming more apparent. It is getting hard to deny, even for your haters. It's getting hard to deny that you are meant to make a mark and lay claim for all your hard work. You are meant to make your mark on this world. You're meant to lay claim. You got something cooking up. A lot of you could be doing what is it? Tournaments, because it kind of reminds me of like a referee or a judge or something, with a whole bunch of people sitting around, like with like MTG or Yu-Gi-Oh. Some of you could be the type that goes into tournaments for money. That's really cool that you can craft something, so that's incredibly smart. I love that. That's going to be the point of origin of when you notice that you're making a turn for a bigger change and something more foundational and concrete. Yeah, you're integrating your polarities. You know what it was like at this other job, and your transferable knowledge. You were using your transferable knowledge from all the experience and skills and abilities that you've accumulated over the years, and you're integrating it into everything you do. For some of you, that's learning patience, how to deal with some unsavory people, and you're very happy that you are now able to respond instead of reacting, or removing yourself, like with the tail, giving yourself a cool off time, which makes you feel like $1,000,000, by the way. Doesn't it make you just feel like $1,000,000 when you have control over your own feelings and your own responses, and you don't just let other people get the best of you? It's so relieving on the nervous system and everything. Like, we don't need that. I feel like you're healing your nervous system. Because it kind of reminds me of the arteries and stuff like that. Yeah. Yes. So you could be having a campfire or a bonfire for Halloween. This also kind of reminds me of a maze, so you may be going to corn mazes. And how it's absolutely different every single year, but it's the same concept. So some of you are changing the concept of something that you may do yearly. You could be changing the date, location, a poster could have got updated for your first event. It doesn't have to be a first event, but I just feel like you're getting to shine. Your name is getting put up there on the bulletin board for a set list, or your name being above on a clinic, and it's just your own name in neon lights. And that's, I don't even know if they do neon anymore. I think they changed it after a while, and now it's just one color and it's only red. Boo. I love colors. A lot of you might love colors, but I also feel like that there's a lot of my followers who are like, give me black and off black and off off black. And then there's the one black that causes drama amongst all of the art society because it is the true black. And yeah, a lot of you maybe in the art community, like going to art school, could have done makeup or cosmetology, but I feel like that some of you stepped away from that and now you're moving into a different cycle. That may not be for all of you, but I feel like yeah, some of you could be hairstylists and or have moved on from that, and that's why you're finding something more concrete with like video games or doing MTG or just being an artist and going on tour. I have big hopes for all of you because you guys deserve all of the biggest dreams. I know that my collective is definitely big dreamers, and big dreamers come true. I feel a lot of you are famous, have a very talented collective. And like, even if you're not globally famous, being locally famous, being famous or popular amongst your friends group, because that's where it truly matters. After a certain extent, yeah, being popular is cool and being famous is cool, but it's mostly the money. After that point, it's like, how am I supposed to know all of these people? At least for me anyway. I might change my mind one day and be like, woohoo! Yeah, a lot of you might be changing your minds and integrating the polarities of like, yeah, I want to be famous, but like, I want to be the person who defines what my famous is. Like, when like NF said that I'll let you know when I've made it, guys. And then recently he made a post being like, I feel like I made it. Because anyone can say like, oh, that person made it. They got their album out there, their name's out there. But he defined for himself what making it looks like. And I feel like that's what you're doing to my collective. You're defining for yourself what success is, what making it looks like, what being free looks like. I love that. That's an amazing message. And yeah, I look forward to hearing about how you all have made it and all the cool things that you're planning to do. So yeah, let me know down below what your definition of making it would look like, what your version of utopia is. And I'm just I'm just excited for all of you. I'm excited for me too. I got plans. You got plans. Let's see all of our plans come together. Oh yes. Yes. It's all coming together. Yeah, Kronk. Kronk went from being a henchman to being the most popular in all of the land. He's a great chef. He's a great friend. He found a loved one. Like, it all came together for him, especially in Kronk's new groove. Like, you guys are on your Kronk new groove, because you're definitely finding out what it is to mean successful. Because to him, in the beginning of the movie, hold on, spoilers if you haven't seen this part, go watch it. It's not as good as the first one, some people say, but whatever. I feel like the message behind it was really good. Because at the beginning, he thought there was a whole checklist that he needed to tick off in order to make his dad proud of him. But in the end, he realized that everyone around him was already proud of him and loving. And in turn, it showed. It showed how successful he was and how loved he was. So I'm saying it. Y'all gonna realize and get proof that you are loved and you are successful in your own definition. Don't let anyone else tell you you are or aren't. Not even me. Alright, thank you for coming through, and I appreciate all of you and all my new subscribers and all my old ones. You all really warm my heart, and I look forward to hanging out with you again in my next video. Remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun.